see those flake off, and he would be down to rims pretty soon. Which you want this to end as peacefully and as quickly as possible. But that front left tire, it's hardly any tires on it at all, just the rim.
And another question we still have, Jeff, at first, we were talking about how, adding additional units by the LAPD and chasing this person when we were actually in the pursuit and not the tracking mode anymore. We were talking about how that could possibly signal the fact that there is something more sinister happening than a stolen vehicle.
Yeah.
So we still don't know the answer to that question either. What are they really running from aside from stealing a car?
Yeah, we believe that the suspect that's already in custody would be giving up information and cooperating with police, which led them maybe possibly to back off of this pursuit and then go to those measures of the spike strips, which have been very effective.
Yeah.
And I'm quite surprised that the car, I've got to look at that pedestrian going right in front of the vehicle. Thankfully, nothing is happening there, but you want to be able to see this car stop and the driver get out with his hands up. We'd like to see that, but we're not going to see it here. This is going to be San Fernando Road and Van Nuys in the San Fernando Valley. This is going to be San Fernando Road, the 10,000 block, and Van Nuys. Piney Street is another cross street as we continue this pursuit of a driver wanted for a stolen vehicle.
And we're going to continue following this car on our other side on KCAL 9 with Leslie Marin and Juan Fernandez. We thank you for joining us. I'm Susie Sell alongside Jeff Vaughn. We'll turn it over to them now.
All right, Susie, Jeff, thank you so much. And breaking news coverage of this police pursuit continues right now on KCAL 9 and also on CBSN Los Angeles. As Jeff and Susie were just filling us in here, this is a pursuit of a stolen black Audi A5. Not too long ago, we did see this car roll over a set of spike strips. Right there, you see it right there. It was almost all four tires, Leslie, this car went over. But there it is one more time in slow motion. Picture perfect, really. When we look at all these different pursuits that happen here in Los Angeles, the officer there on scene did a really good job there. But on the left side of your screen there, these are live pictures now. Today, a very long day. We're going to see a lot of sunshine, so we are going to see this pursuit. It's going to have some daylight going on for some while, right?
Yeah, and you know what? We know this started about an hour ago. I think we got onto this right around at 6:35. That's how long we've been following it. It started a little bit before that, but we do know it started at Laurel Canyon and Branford. We're now going through, you can see we're at San Fernando Road, and at times you are, and we have seen the driver here actually stop at stop signs, stop at red lights, and then continue to go. We are also seeing LAPD vehicles following this car. You may not see them right here in this picture, but there were about 6 or 7 at last count that are keeping their distance. But like you said, this car has gone through I believe 2 sets of spike strips.
And one pit maneuver that apparently did not work, as we see this pursuit continuing to move here. And what's really interesting about this is, for a while, this was in tracking mode. Look what's happening there on the right. This happened earlier today when the passenger in that car got off near Allen and Glendale, and that passenger was taken into custody. So something very interesting, even being a passenger can get you arrested, right? When police are trying to stop you. For a while, this pursuit was in tracking mode, which means officers are watching from a distance or watching from the air. There's that failed pit maneuver on the right side of your screen there. But eventually it did go back into full pursuit mode, as we're seeing right now. And my guess is, Leslie, with the tires down to the rims, that's why we're seeing these speeds of 30 and 40 miles an hour.
Yeah, really, the fastest we've seen this vehicle go is maybe around 50 miles per hour. You see it stop now and again make its way. But you're right, all 4 tires we're seeing pretty much deflate, go down to the rim, but the process of them actually deflating does take some time. And I know we do have retired LAPD helicopter pilot Dave Avila here with us. Well, they were seeing it come to a stop once again. But can you explain to us just the process? We know it went through 2 sets of spike strips, but it may take
vehicle, a lot of it's going to use up a lot more fuel. But like I mentioned, we've seen them go for an hour on the rims. So hopefully this will be the case.
Yeah, Dave, definitely a lot of drag when these rims are on asphalt there. But also, I'm guessing the noise inside the cabin has got to be something just incredible for this driver, adding to the stress of the pursuit. Here he is right now, just behind a car at another traffic light. So, what do you guess is the thinking here? I mean, he can't go much farther in this car with police not only watching from above but also behind him in a car that's already semi-disabled.
You know, the desperation is so high right now with this suspect. They know they're going to go to jail. We don't know if it's a two-striker, if it's going to be his third or her third. We have no idea, you know, and so it's we don't know the type of crime that he's running or he or she is running from. You know, the other thing too is when you look inside the windshield, and kudos to the air crew, the pilot and the camera person, both of them. A lot of this pursuit for the last hour, the suspect has had their left hand up at the top of the steering wheel. We don't see the right hand. So what worries me, and maybe the officers already know, is that suspect have a gun in their hand, in the right hand.
And Dave, it looks like he's in a parking lot right now. We're making his way through a parking lot, now back on what looks like another roadway here. We haven't seen this suspect really get on the freeway, and really the fastest speeds we've seen here a couple seconds ago was about 50 miles per hour. But again, those tires really hitting the rim now, those rims really hitting the asphalt, like we said before, as this driver has already driven through 2 sets of spike strips.
Yeah, you know, and if it was nighttime, we'd probably see some sparks going off those tires also. But, you know, as of right now, I did see, if you notice, there's a little swerve going with this where he or she was driving right between the white lines. Don't really see that now. Every once in a while, you'll see that.
Yeah, you see it right there.
Yeah, exactly. So the maneuverability of the vehicle is slowly being decayed because of the blown tires in the front.
Well, we're starting to see some smoke now, Dave, from that front driver's side front tire. Just like you said, it would be probably just a matter of time, especially as he's picking up speed, that we would start seeing more smoke. And I think even that front wheel looks a little wobbly now too.
It does. It does. And from what I understand, that they're still somewhat in a tracking mode. You know, that's where the vehicle, the black and white foldback, we all know what that is. Their units overhead. So they're keeping an eye on that vehicle, and they're probably telling them, hey, they're working that steering wheel right now, trying to keep it straight.
Yeah, and you know what? We are seeing those slow speeds, which is something that
Especially on both parts, because, you know, part of the, you know, it's all about citizen safety and pulling back.
Oh, look at that.
Another set of spike strips.
Another set of spike strips, Dave. I don't know if you're right on it or you have a little bit of a delay, but yet another set of spike strips.
I had a little bit of delay. It's going to really lose control.
Yeah. What is amazing, Dave, you know, it's an Audi A5, considered what a luxury vehicle. A lot of these nicer cars have those run flat tires, so there's tires that you can go on and on for quite a bit. And even on the rims, I mean, we've seen other pursuits where once the the car is on a rim, it doesn't take long before it finally just, you know, conks out. But look at this, 46, 47, 50 miles an hour plus right now.
Definitely see it swerving a lot more now.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely a luxury type vehicle. I mean, it's the suspension on it built up, which obviously we can see here with 4 blown tires, and you know that rubber is being torn apart, so that's causing a little bit of the swaying it also. Yeah.
Yeah, tires have definitely been punctured, and you can see this driver just really losing control of this vehicle more and more.
Yeah, Dave, I can't remember the last time that we've seen 3 successful spike strips in a very short amount of time during a pursuit.
That's funny you say that, because I just hit a while back, about a half hour ago. I don't think I've ever seen a pursuit where they were hit not only twice with the spike strip, but all 4 tires got it twice. Now we've seen it 3 times and all 4 tires got it. So yeah, good call.
Look, there it is once again in replay. My guess is, Dave, maybe the driver's texting, not paying attention, looks away for a second, because I mean, the spike strip is still a pretty large, device that the LAPD uses for him not to see it, and he ran over it 3 times.
You know what I really noticed on this one too, Juan,
Yeah.
is that I noticed that the officer that deployed it threw it all the way across, and then, but that was beautiful the way they deployed that. All three of them actually.
Yeah, it gives them a little extra time to see where the car's going to go and put it into place. And obviously, it was successful. The pit maneuver was as well.
Yeah, with the pit maneuver, the blacked out windows, they've been talking to the suspect that gave himself up. We don't know if they're running, like I mentioned earlier, from a robbery. We don't know if there was any kind of violent crime. We don't know if there's a weapon in that vehicle. Heck, we've had it before. We thought we had 4 suspects in a vehicle. This was a while back, but we ended up having 7 people crawl out of a big vehicle before. So it may be the same thing here.
Especially with these tinted windows, you can't really see too much inside this vehicle. So you're right, police don't know if there's any more suspects or passengers in that vehicle. But you were also touching on this, Dave, that this vehicle this driver was wanted for a stolen vehicle.
He or she's looking at a long time.
Yeah, and we're seeing some smoke on the right side of that vehicle it looks like not much of that rubber is really left on those tires right now. How much really longer? I know these cars are made so well these days, but how much really longer, Dave, do you even anticipate these tires holding on? Well, it doesn't look like very, very long right there.
Do you see that? You'll probably catch it in a second there, Dave, but basically the frame of a tire just fell off the car, just rolled right off it.
Yeah, it looked like it almost looked like a retread, even though it's not. But it's the tire just went by.
Yeah, like the wall around.
Yeah, the tread. Yeah, it's
the tread. Yes.
Gone. So, yeah, the maneuverability is going to stop until to answer your question.
Look at that! Look at that! Ooh, yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, definitely hard to control at this point, Dave.
Yeah, and we're talking straight. We're not even talking about turning left or right at high speed, slow speed. So maybe once this suspect starts hitting side street, she may just.
It was quick, but we caught it. Yeah.
You see that tread of the tire just roll right off as these tires continue disintegrating. But at this point, you can see the car just swerving back and forth, left and right, really, because all 4 of those tires. There you go.
Look at that.
Yeah.
It's almost
All 4 of
fishtailing
those
a little bit,
tires
Leslie.
are truly deflating and just coming apart.
Yeah.
We're at Foothill Boulevard in Christie Avenue right now, still in the San Fernando Valley.
It's still going. I mean, we've seen them go for an hour or so. I mean, we're probably about 20 minutes into this, probably even longer since the first spike strip, which is on the right side.
Yeah, I want to say it's been maybe about 45 minutes since the first spike strip, but at least 10-15 minutes since we saw that third spike strip get released in the car, just drive right over it. But again, just this driver continuing on this straight path, definitely swerving. We know those tires disintegrating, but at this point, we don't know who's in that vehicle.
Right.
We did see a passenger get out earlier in the pursuit, and they are now in custody. And you can assume, Dave, that person is possibly talking with police and police getting some insight on who's behind this car.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no doubt they were talking to that suspect in the way that suspect gave himself up, saying, hey, listen, whatever I did, I ain't part of this pursuit, so I'm getting out of here. And the way that he got out of that vehicle was experience. So he stepped out, and before you could see the torso, all you seen were hands up in the air, way up. So he said, I'm guilty.
He didn't want any part of that, yeah.
No. He stepped out. All you could see was just arms and hands coming out. So, okay, we go with the turn now. So a little bit wide on the turn and a little swerve. And
a little faster too, Dave.
Getting very close to that vehicle right there.
Look how smoky. Look at all the smoke now. Wow.
This is where it gets dangerous.
Really dangerous.
This driver did almost hit that other car. And now you just see it going on the opposite side of traffic there.
That is scary, Dave, huh?
Yeah, that's all that rubber coming off, and it's losing traction completely. So hopefully this suspect will just say, okay, that's enough, I'm stopping. But this is
You
so
see-
dangerous for the
Yeah, you
There
see
it
that
goes.
back right tire there,
It's about
just,
to go.
it's not holding on much more, but you can see it going, and this car just going
Wow.
out of control, as well as smoking, because all four of those
Wow.
tires have gone through multiple sets of spike strips at this point.
My guess
Yeah.
is this is going to be coming to an end at some point, just even for the driver's own safety. But you can see here, opposite lanes of traffic, very hard to control. And
There you go.
at some point, there goes that tire. Two tires.
Both
Look at that,
tires.
1 and 2. I'd hate to be a car coming in the opposite lanes of traffic,
You
Dave.
really hope there isn't
Mhm.
anyone.
Yeah, that's the fun part. That's why I like being part of this, and I mentioned it before, because if you have family out
Well, look at
there,
this.
let them know. Yeah, fish tailing all the way.
Almost like an invisible pit maneuver there, right? Oh, and
And then
another
another
tire. Now
tire
we've seen all
comes
4
off.
tires come off the car, Dave.
Well, we're not quitting.
And officers are behind him. Can't believe he's going this fast. 57, 58, 60 plus miles an hour.
And you're hoping, because they were just coming from this direction, a lot of people will be moving out of the way,
Right,
just because
right.
they saw all of those patrol cars behind them with their flashing lights. But this car still not coming to a stop. This driver not coming
Yeah.
to a stop, despite us watching as these tires are just coming apart piece
Mm-hmm.
by piece. We're seeing them roll off this vehicle, this Audi A5 that
Yeah.
was reported stolen.
Seems like he's a lot more stable now, Dave, that all that wobbly rubber came off the rims and he's now just on rims.
With the way it's designed now, that will give them more traction. Of course, it's a lot more drag, and there's a lot of heat underneath there. Soon there'll be a fire underneath. We've seen that. So
It's like he maybe turned on the hazard lights.
Yeah, you're right.
So maybe telling people just to get out of the way, because you can definitely see there is
Mhm.
no tread left on those tires.
just cutting the groove right in the road, and that's actually kind of helping them with control. So that's going to just, and it's the same thing. The unit's just saying, hey, it's a wide open street. We'll just go, he's slowing down, or she's slowing down. And
Can we see another pit maneuver here, Dave, now that the car's a little bit more disabled?
Probably not. I
No?
don't think so. With the, it all depends on what they feel, but I don't think there'll be another, I'm sorry. I got a late one there. Okay, no, with the pit maneuver, yeah, sure. No, they may go ahead and just negotiate another one here. It all depends on the incident commander, whether they want to go ahead and end this thing. So, before we were, that guy, he had his own pit maneuver. He spun around and got away.
Mm-hmm.
But now with just the
Unbelievable.
rims, yeah, we'll see. But this,
Yeah, we are at Foothill Boulevard and Fenwick as this vehicle just continues riding really on rims at this point. This driver not giving up, although you can see they have the hazard lights on, coming to a stop right now.
Right in that crosswalk, yeah.
And we've seen this driver do this a couple times, but it looks like maybe they have stopped. Not sure if they're giving up at this point, or they're just waiting on a light, because we've seen them stop at lights before and not give up.
It's one of these intersections where there's 3 different ways that traffic could come through. Maybe just, I don't know, for safety reasons, I don't know if that would be the case here. He just decided to stop, or maybe the car just stopped on its own.
right.
And at this point, not what you want to do. You have no idea who is behind the wheel of this vehicle. Again, wanted for stealing a car there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. If it was night, it'd probably be glowing. But I did 34 years on the LAPD, the last 22 at Air Support Division. Now that's 22. My first 3 years, I was an observer.
I can't imagine, Dave, what it's like. You're at the controls of the helicopter, of course, for the safety of yourself and everybody in there, and having all this action go on. And it looks like something's going on there on the driver's side window a light, or maybe he's got his phone light on, or something's happening
So
there.
this is really the first time we're seeing this driver come to a stop, not at a traffic signal.
Yeah.
You are seeing the police officers
Cops are
actually
getting out,
get
yeah.
out of their vehicle, and this is the first time you've seen it, despite this driver stopping several times.
Yeah, they may be, this is one of the reasons why police departments, CHP, LAPD, most police departments don't like to co-mingle in a pursuit. The reason being is for post-pursuit management. All these officers here play off the same game book, if you will. They know what the other officers can do. They know that one officer is going to be in charge of directing the suspect out. With your left hand, throw the keys out, open the door. You see both hands. Open the door from the outside. Step out and walk. Walk back to my voice. That sort of thing. That's the way LAPD does it. Other departments do it differently, but this is one of the reasons why most departments, LAPD to be included, don't really like to co-mingle. Does it happen? Oh, absolutely, for officer safety. But if you don't need to, then that's what this is the way it would go down. Just the way you're looking at right now. They're all discussing, making up who's gonna be the arrest team. Say, okay, the guy looks like the officer's on the right. Once the suspect comes out and walks back to the officers and goes down to their knees or pulls their jacket up and make sure that they don't have any weapons shoved down the waistband. It looks like they'll be the arrest team. So they'll go up. Another officer has them has another officer with the weapon pulled out for cover.
Mm-hmm. Foothill and La Crescenta Avenue right now in the city of Pasadena is where this pursuit has come to a stop.